Yo, what's good and welcome back to YouTube. Shout out to each and every one of you that have subscribed and have been commenting below as we get this channel popping again. And so this video, I want to give to you the 10 most important aspects that I look at when making an investment. Now, I have made probably at least 200 investments throughout my life. It's something that I don't talk a lot about, but I'm looking forward to just going deeper on in this channel and through the podcast, because most people know me from Elite Daily and Leaders Create Leaders and the companies that I've gotten behind. Most people don't realize, though, that the majority of the wealth that I've created in my life has been from my investments. And I think that that's where real financial freedom comes from. It's when you're able to have your money working for you to a point where, like, literally, if you wanted to stop working, your bills are being taken care of because of the money that you've invested, that's bringing in enough income to literally pay off your bills. And then at that point, you really are financially free. And so I've always had such a passion for building out a portfolio. Now, the majority of my investments have been through the stock market, some real estate, and then a lot in startups, because I've been a startup entrepreneur myself. And so the 10 things that I look at, first and foremost, the thing that I look at is the founders, right? Who are the individuals that are bringing me an idea? And, like, I really want to understand who they are at the core. What do they stand for? What is their experience? I want to hear about their passion and their why. Why are they really getting behind this idea? And that leads me to number 2, which is the story. And just really understanding what's the story behind this whole investment and this whole idea and this business, right? And I want to see if I resonate with that story. And I love a good story. Like, I know when I started Elite Daily, there was just this whole story of, I remember just going on a plane and buying all these different magazines, Rob Report and Maxim and all the magazines for the content that I was looking for. And then I was like, well, why isn't there a one-stop shop online publication that's for our generation, by our generation? And that got me inspired to create it. Why not me? And so there was this whole story around that journey, and I just think a great story sells. And so I want to understand that story. The next thing is the team. Who's the team behind it? I like to understand that team. I like to understand how the leaders, the founders, have started to build that out, because my success, I owe it all to my team. Yes, I'm a visionary, and that's an important role. And for you as a founder, you're really leading the charge. But the truth is that your success is directly correlated to your ability to be able to build a team, a world-class team, an Olympic team that can execute on your idea and make it come to reality. And so shout out to everyone that's worked with me on my team, because of you is the reason why I've been able to become so successful. The next thing that I look at is the ROI. Like, a real business isn't a business unless it makes money. A lot of people have great ideas that ultimately aren't paying the bills, right? And a great idea ultimately is just that. It's an idea. It doesn't actually become a real business until you create something of value and turn that into revenue. And so I really want to understand the revenue model, the business model, and understand how you're creating an ROI. The other part that I look for is the network. And so I really want to understand the network. I want to understand who are the other investors that are coming into this, and understand the network that's going to be involved with this investment. And then I also look at the industry. I want to understand the industry as a whole and understand the sector, and just really see the upside potential in that sector. And so I want to study the industry, and is it something I believe in? So the next important aspect is the values. I really want to understand the values of this company. And so I want to get behind what are those core values that this company stands for, both to their customer and inside their culture, which is so important to me. The next aspect is the impact. I want to understand the impact that this company is looking to create, because it's not all about making money. It's like, how are we actually being for a purpose? How are we actually contributing to a better world, to a better planet, to helping humanity? And so I really want to understand the impact. The next aspect that I look at is the viability. And so I really want to understand that this company has a viable product and business model, and is something that they've tested, they've proven. I really can see, looking at the data, that this is something that actually has a good market fit. Like their product and their service or their technology actually has demand, and like there's people out there that are looking for this because it solves a problem. And so I really want to understand the viability. And the last but not least aspect that I look at when making an investment is the exit. And so I just really want to understand, do they have an exit strategy? Now, that doesn't mean that I believe that every founder should actually be thinking about an exit. And most of the time when founders are building a company right from the jump thinking about an exit, it typically doesn't work out, because to get to an exit takes time. And for me, it took close to 5 years. Most of the time it takes over 10 years. So I want to make sure that they're playing the long game, but I want to know that they have an end game in mind. And so I really want to understand, what is that exit plan, and do they have one? And ultimately, right, like how is it going to play out for all of the shareholders and for the investors? And so maybe it doesn't always look like selling the company or IPOing, but maybe there's still ways to get dividends and certain ways to be able to share the growth with the investors. And I really want to know that. I've gotten stuck into a lot of investments, and although I play the long game, I want to know and make sure that there is an exit in mind. And those are the top 10 things that I look at when making an investment. And so I'm just going to call them out. We got the founders, the story, the ROI, the network, the industry, the impact, the viability, the team, the values, and the exit. And so what I do with those 10 aspects is I rate them from 1 to 10, each one of those. And then at the end, I basically, out of 100, right, I want to make sure that the points that I add up are more than 50. If it doesn't get to 50 points, when I add it up 1 to 10 for each one of those aspects, then it's a pass for me and I'm not interested. But if I get up to 70 to 75 points, then typically I'm interested. I'll keep researching and I start considering how much money do I want to invest. And so this is one of the most powerful things that I've done throughout my life that has allowed me to build an unbelievable portfolio that I'm proud of, that generates income for me, that has a long-term strategy. And I'm excited for you to step into being an investor. Even if you've never invested before, like, you need to start thinking like an investor. And so every day start thinking about, where are you investing your money? Where are you investing your time? Where are you investing your energy? And the next time that you have an investment opportunity, I highly recommend using this framework. Look at each one of these 10 aspects. Maybe try the rating system and see how it feels. And if you are someone who's looking to become more active in investing, I created what's called the Conscious Capital Syndicate, which is the ability for my community to co-invest with me in different opportunities. And that's something that you get access to being a part of the Leaders Create Leaders Mastermind. So if you're interested in that, definitely go to leaderscreateleaders.com, apply. The tribe is growing, and it's one of the most powerful communities of conscious leaders that are on the planet that are focused on creating more wealth, more impact in the world. And so inviting you to that. I appreciate you guys watching another YouTube video here. Drop a comment below. Make sure to subscribe, and see you guys next time. Peace.